Good morning, everybody. I was going to say Thursday, it's Wednesday, Wistful Wednesday, the 27th of May. Now, I did promise this week that we were going to be try and be a bit more upbeat. It's still a very difficult time, but I also said to people if they were suggesting titles that I would use them. So I'm using a suggested title, and it's Jamila, and she will get the virtual hour of my time whenever suits her. And thank you very much. The wistful, right. So wistful really means sad and having a longing for something or someone you had and lost, or which you maybe never even had in the first place. Now, you can long for having the perfect partner, or if you've got a partner, you might long for something new, something different, which will make, or you think will make you happier. Remember I talked yesterday about relationships and that you really should attend to your own needs. And that's not being selfish, because you're then being authentic. And it's not just bowing to the needs of the other person, because you then become, you're not you. So remember, I asked you to make a list of your values and then sharing that with clarity, which is a really poignant kind of word for this time, clarity, with the other person. If you don't do this, then you can feel let down, you can feel disappointed even in your choice you've made, and disappointed and frustrated with yourself. So that's we've discussed a bit of that yesterday, but today I thought for this video I'm going to use the definition of wistful as meaning nostalgia. So what is nostalgia? Think about a past experience. Do you miss it? Or do you think of past happy times? Now, being nostalgic, like everything else, it's got two sides. There's a kind of negative side and a positive benefits as well. So when you hear the word nostalgia, I bet you sort of think of sadness and loss that causes you to grieve. And nostalgia can invade your mind and body when you think of the past. And it comes from, that's natural, because it comes from the Greek word nostos, that means return, and algos, that means pain. So you can experience nostalgia in times of change and uncertainty. And I think that's been particularly apt in these times. We're thinking, oh, wish we could go back, and I wish it was different, and what are we going to do? So remember the previous videos that I've talked about change. Change is actually good for you. It's good for your personal growth, but it also means that you can be nostalgic still for the past. So you've probably all done this. When you look back, and what do? You tend to remember the sort of good parts of the past and forget the bad or the boring bits of your life. Well, studies show that nostalgia can actually remind you that you have got a massive store of memories that makes you, you. So there are two types of nostalgia. There's the restorative time. This is where you try to relive the way things were in the past. Or the reflective, and this is where you've got feelings of longing, but you're accepting the past is the past. So why do we have these feelings of nostalgia? Well, there were studies carried out, Southampton University it showed that nostalgia increases your optimism for the future. They asked a group to write about an event in their lives associated with feelings of nostalgia. And then they asked another group just to write about any experience at all. And the first group used more positive words. And in another study, they actually found that songs brought feelings of nostalgia and make people more optimistic. So when there's any change in your life, you can become, and you will probably become, nostalgic. The change can be traumatic, like the loss of a loved one, or to a smaller event, perhaps like a change of job, moving to another city. Now, the change does not need to be a recent one. It can be just remembering that change can raise feelings of nostalgia. So nostalgia can happen in many situations and in different ways. It can be a feeling, just a brief impression. It's common to everybody. It affects everyone, no matter your age, your gender, your culture. And this is because we have all left behind times in our lives, and we look back with love, or sometimes with illusion. So however, people experience nostalgia differently. Some like to look forward to the future, while others look back at what they had and want things to remain the same. So it depends on how you view life. We tend to remember, as I said, only the positive aspects of situations, and this has to do with our memory, and we tend to keep the good memories and try and discard the negative ones. This helps because it makes you forget your mistakes, and it gives you opportunities to learn and to be happier, at least most of the time. Nostalgia can be triggered by many things. A smell, maybe a perfume, a pipe smoke. I was just thinking the other day, it was a while ago before the lockdown, but I passed somebody, they were smoking a pipe, and it brought me back to a time. There was an old uncle, and it smelled like kind of Blue Riband biscuits. It was a wonderful smell, and of course it took me immediately back to that person and that time. Or baking, the smell of baking, or hearing a song, and you relive these moments. Nostalgia also helps you through life by recalling these happy times, and this can make you happy even if they're in the past, and you reflect on how fortunate you were and to know what you want and act on it. You get to know yourself more deeply, and this increases your self-esteem because you're appreciating the positive events that made you you. Nostalgia can motivate you to be creative. You might, if you hear something or read about something, you're motivated to maybe write, paint, poems, anything. It's a very powerful marketing tool. If you think of all the products that are marketed, the real marketing gurus use nostalgia to get you to buy the products. However, there's a negative aspect to nostalgia, and that's feelings of regret. Now, this is where you have negative feelings towards the past, what you did or didn't do, or your negative experiences. Regret refers to actions of the past, what you did or didn't do. And the disappointment refers to the negative outcome of these actions. Now, nostalgia also plays a part when we say we're homesick. You wish you were back in the house that you loved, but homesickness can be so intense that it can cause you distress. So you've got to kind of find that balance. So how do you overcome feelings of excessive nostalgia? Because that's the negative side to nostalgia. It's the excessiveness of it. Excessiveness of anything is really not good for you. It's like, I often say, everything in moderation. So it's important not to become too nostalgic, because that's a sign that something is not right in your life. It can lead to lack of concentration, sleep problems, even depression. So it impacts on your whole overall well-being. And this happens if this happens, you need to do something about it. And you can do this. Obviously, if it's really intense, you need to seek professional help. But if it's not too bad, it's not, it's maybe impacting your life, you can use these sort of tips to help you. Be realistic. Give yourself time to adapt to change and different phases of your life. Identify what is happening in your life, and when you do this, it will help you know what to do if you're faced with a change, because it's helping you to identify the choices that you have. Remember, we all have choices. Be around positive people. This is like a broken record. I've talked about this a lot in my videos, but it is vitally important. Talking about your feelings is important because if you can get support from positive people. If this is difficult, I've talked before about the self-journaling, like writing down your feelings. Identifying them then makes you aware of them and what you need to do about it. Storing old things from the past that cause you pain is not helpful. Now, I can resonate with this because when I lost my son and I still have some of his things, I find comfort in them. But what I'm talking about here is maybe just becoming too much. In fact, I spoke to a friend, actually, a very supportive friend, because I found lots of photos of his it was the photos that he needed for some of his acting jobs, and there was a lot of them, and I thought, I don't know what to do with them. And this very kind friend, Lynn, hello Lynn, and Barbara and David, thank you very much. I think it was Lynn, reminded me, you have your memories. So do you need all of these photos? And it's true, we don't need all of these things. But I think when you've lost a loved one, I've kept one or two of these things. I've got a wee teddy, and I do sniff it. I just have a wee smell sometimes, and it reminds me of these things. So also, if you're keeping an old photo of family, particularly if you're maybe moving abroad or going away, it's quite good. It's nice to have photos of family because that gives you a strength. If a relationship has broken down, please don't obsess over the past belongings, as that will impact on your mental well-being. And if memories cause you pain, you need to let them go, at least for a while. If it's photos, then put them away for a while until you're able maybe to manage your emotions. The next thing is you've got choices. Remember, you can change a situation. You can't change other people, but you can change yourself. If it's the death of a loved one, then you can't bring them back, but you can choose how you want to live with the loss, how you want to handle that loss. It's important to remember the memories, the warmth of the time you spent together. Grieving but not forgetting your loved one is healthy. Talking about them helps. I find this helped me. I know people are very reticent when they meet you and they're not sure what to say. I say it's okay. I say his name daily. I talk about him. And by all means, keep some belongings, but if you're keeping all the belongings, that can cause you pain because you might not want to get rid of them, but it can continue to cause you pain. So in your own time, you might feel able to get rid of them because you will always have your memories, as I was reminded. If the change is a loss of job, then you should take action. If you've lost your job, mope around for a wee while. You're bound to be upset, depressed, depending on what it is. Maybe it hasn't been redundancy. People are very worried just now, but you can apply for new ones, make a plan, create a plan, do a list. So you kind of take action. Don't let nostalgia get so intense that you become depressed, because it can hit you and you can stay in bed, you don't want to get up. And if it kind of reaches that stage, or about to reach that stage, challenge yourself. You have the power within you to plan, to make a list of your achievements. What do you want to do? What should you do? This increases your self-esteem and your self-confidence. For example, in these times when people have been at home, they're being much more creative. They're exercising, they're writing, they're painting, so many things you can challenge yourself with. And of course, take care of yourself and you will feel better. Nutrition, physical and mental exercises. And remember, mental health awareness matters. It isn't for a week, it isn't for a year, it isn't for a day, it's every moment. So when you take care of yourself, again, that increases your self-esteem. You build resilience and courage to overcome challenges and endure life in a different way. Time and space, that's absolutely vital. No matter what is happening round about you or to people round about you, you need time and space for yourself. And this again is back to, where do we go if we don't have the space at home with others? Go to the bathroom and lock the door. You need time and space because if you don't have that and you're very busy and you're overthinking, you start concentrating on the bad times, the anger, the sadness, and all that can make you forget to take care of yourself. So you need to clear your mind, and that's where I hope that the Mind Bites mindfulness meditations can help. Don't avoid nostalgia. That's not good. I'm saying don't obsess about it, but don't avoid it either. You need to accept your feelings. If you stop being nostalgic, you will start to feel unhappy. So just stop when it's becoming excessive and overwhelmed. And if this happens, if you're really becoming overwhelmed, then it might be an idea to seek professional help. Often when we're overwhelmed, we start to feel ashamed. It stops you from asking for help, but it's vital that you do so. So if you're overcome with feelings, you're overwhelmed with nostalgia, where you're living in the past constantly, reliving the past, wanting the past back, that's really not good for your health. So take care of yourselves and look after, your nutrition, your physical health, your mental health. Start listening to music or reading, anything that helps you calm the mind. And of course, my Mind Bites meditation. Now, I have my wee exercise today as well. We had exercises yesterday, the last 2 days we've had numbers 1 to 7. Now, they change each time. So if you choose 5 every day, you won't get the same topic. So don't worry. So you don't need to change use a different number. So for today's exercise, I want everyone to choose a number between 1 and 7. Give you time for that. Now, if you've chosen number 1, I want you to consider a purpose, have a sense of purpose. You might have that, just focus on that again. All of these, I want you to take time and space. Now, we're not talking about a whole day for yourselves, just 2 or 3 minutes. So, do you have a purpose? If not, think about it and think, what is it you really want? And use your inspiration board or your achievement board. The inspiration board will give you ideas for your purpose, cutting out pictures and sticking them on. Number 2 is about understanding. And this is not understanding other people. Do you truly understand yourself? So just take a moment to think, are you living as you, or you're kind of living trying to please everyone else round about you? Number 3, if you've chosen, that's adventure. Are you a bit reticent? Maybe, you want to do the same things every day. Try something new. Go on an adventure. Now, that does not mean, and we know somebody's taking like a 260-mile drive. Let's gloss over that. Let's talk about using adventure in your mind. Go for an adventure in your mind. Or if you're at home, do something different. Change your routine. Change it about a wee bit. Number 4, if you've chosen that, that's beauty. So I want you who've chosen number 4 to think, take yourself in your mind, or if you've got a gardener outside, go out into nature and just consider the beauty round about you. And take that time and space, just a moment or two, to consider how wonderful nature is. And we've seen actually in these specific times, the pandemic, that nature is really coming to the fore. Number 5, if you've chosen that, your word is simplicity. Now, this is about quietening your mind. Stop overcomplicating things. Stop overthinking. Just simplify everything down and calm yourself. Number 6, the word is balance. Do you have balance in your life? And this is a time to think, because I was overeating, and I thought, I'll become like a Michelin woman. I like chocolate, I like things. So I've had to kind of bring balance into think, look, am I overeating? Am I well, certainly not over-exercising. But people are turning to exercise, physical exercise. Now that is good, but sometimes they're kind of overdoing it to me. And I jokingly say there's lots of people, I love when they do their 2Ks, 10Ks, that's fabulous. I just do it in my mind. I do everything in moderation. So try and bring balance to everything, your food, your nutrition, your physical and your mental, and make a note of things you're doing. You maybe don't have balance of the mental mind, so you're going at 100 miles an hour, bring it down. Number 7 is about communication. And I see my son is trying to get me. Fortunately, I have the phone off. I'll just decline it. I wonder what's happening to me. He should be watching these videos. I should be telling him. Communication is number 7. Now, this is about, do you communicate clearly, or is someone else not communicating things to you clearly? Clarity is important, and having effective communication. So I hope these words have helped. It's just a bit of fun, but it's trying to give you each time and space for yourself. So today, the meditation that we're going to do, the Mind Bites one, is letting go of emotional pain. I think when we've brought in the word nostalgia, you might already all be thinking of the past and thinking of some wonderful moments and lost loved ones, or where lost places you've been. So letting go of emotional pain helps you to find balance. And I found this to be effective, and people have told me that it does help. This is where you have to bring a number to your pain. So let's just think, remember you've got shoulders back and your feet on the ground comfortably. It's just a couple of minutes that I want you to close your eyes and of course do your deep breathing. And just start with an affirmation. I think just say, I am calm, I am positive, and then take a deep breath in through the nose, pushing the tummy out, not the shoulders, and then hold and then relax, exhale through the mouth. So close your eyes, and I want you take a deep breath in through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. Now I want you to follow my voice. I want you to choose someone or something that is hurting or has hurt you. Even if you're not sure of who or what that is, it might be something over which you have no control. The only control you have is over your own feelings. The hurt and emotional pain will be felt somewhere in your body. So I want you to think of someone or something that has hurt you, and then I want you to take a moment to think of where this pain is. Is it in your head? Is it in your neck, your shoulders, your stomach, your legs? Where is it hurting? Where is that pain sitting? Now give this feeling, this pain, this hurt, a number from 0 to 10. 0 is for no pain, 10 is for intense pain or hurt. Now take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now take another deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then slowly exhale. Now take a moment to feel every part of your body, working from the toes, the legs, your knees, thighs, tummy, chest, shoulders, neck, head. Think of everything outside and inside your body. Imagine you are in touch with every part of your body, inside and out. Now breathe slowly into your body. Feel your body fill with your breath. Exhale slowly and feel that breath leave your body. Now when you breathe in again, I want you to imagine sending positive thoughts and feelings, like a smile, to the part of your body that hurts. And say silently to yourself, I let it go. I let it go. Now when you breathe in again and exhale, continue to send these positive thoughts and feelings, like a smile, to the part of your body that was hurting. And silently say to yourself again, I let it go. I let it go. Now I want you to ask yourself, what number would you rate the pain now, the hurt or the tension? Now the number should be lower, as this pain and tension should have eased. This may not happen the first time, maybe not even a second time, but if you continue to do this exercise, you will find the number will reduce. Now you can slowly open your eyes, breathe in, hold, and when you exhale, open your eyes. And you can say to yourself, I let it go. I let it go. Now, I have found when I practice this exercise, the number can be 8, 9 or 10 when I start. And when I do the calming, just bringing myself down, that number can reduce to 2 or 3, sometimes even 1. On occasion 0, but I think every day we have some sort of pain and hurt, but it does help. Please try this exercise. And of course you can repeat it anytime you want, anytime you need to just let go of any sort of pain. Now I'll maybe post up this, just relax your body and stretch your arms and yawn. I would like to ask, I don't know if we're having too much of a good thing with me, but I thought with things easing maybe just now, with the pandemic and the crisis, we're not sure, there could be a second wave, but let's not sort of start over worrying. I thought I might reduce my daily videos. Instead of daily, I would do them once a week, maybe on a Wednesday, or twice a week on a Tuesday and Thursday, or 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So please let me know what you think. You know, here's me indecisive, but I don't want to kind of overload people. And if work is suddenly, people are getting back to work, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning's not particularly good a time. But let me know, and thank you again. I'm inspired and motivated by everybody watching and listening, and I'm sending virtual hugs to you all and kisses. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, have a great day. Okay, thank you. Bye.